Good morning, good morning, good morning. What is going on, my friend? How the heck are you? Happy Monday, happy Monday. How are you doing this fine Monday morning? You ready for the week ahead? What is going on? Jorgen, how are you, my friend? Let's see who is over on the website, mikecameron.ca/live. Good morning, Anne. I see you are there. You see, Anne, I am now setting this up so that it is broadcasting about a minute ahead of time so that, Jogan, welcome to Jogan on the website. He cannot spell his own name. Sometimes that can be a challenge, especially on a Monday morning. All right, my friends, welcome to Men Up with Mike. My name is Mike Cameron, and I will be your host. Today, we are going to talk a little bit about men and the scarcity mindset. This is something that I run into in business an awful lot, and it's really prevalent in men. I know it exists in women, but this show is Men Up with Mike, so we are going to talk about things through the lens of what it means to be a dude. So I want to talk about that a little bit today and talk about some of the perils, the challenges, the constraints that we run into when we, in fact, live in this scarcity mindset. And it's kind of interesting, some of the feedback, some of the comments I get, some of the pushback I get from men that don't love my message, that want to talk about this dominate and conquer kind of mindset that we have been sort of raised to believe is what is required of us as men. So yeah, I want to talk a little bit about that today. And I want to talk a little bit about the Make Beautiful Shit Happen t-shirts. We've got the order in, should be coming in within a week. I know a couple of you have ordered them. I've got a couple of larges on back order. So I will have those hopefully within the next week or two at maximum. So I will have those for you guys, for those that are interested. And because it's the holiday season coming up, I got to plug the book. If there's a man or a woman on your list, a woman who loves a man, Christmas is coming. I've got inventory. If you are local to the Edmonton area, I've got lots of inventory here at the office, in the studio. So grab yourself a copy. You can find the order form under How I Serve My Book. And you can order a copy directly online, and I will get that out to you. If you want them autographed, I can do that if you order them through the website. I just want to share with you, I had an amazing month last month on Amazon. I don't know what happened, but something happened. I had my best sales month, well, other than the launch. Obviously, the launch, I sold hundreds, which was fantastic, and big speaking engagements. I often get people that will buy them in bulk. But last month, haven't done any promotion on the book at all, and had probably the best month so far. All right, let's dial it back. Enough about me. Let's talk a little bit about that scarcity mindset. And hey, Anne says, nope, women don't have that problem. Anne's one that always calls me out on this kind of stuff. But yeah, that scarcity mindset, again, in particular, when we hear it from men, I'd love to hear your comments, your thoughts, your feedback. I see this in business all the time. It comes down to this feeling of we always need to be in competition. I can't support you because if I support you, that takes away from me. And it's this mindset of lack, of scarcity, of believing that life is a zero-sum game. If you win, somehow I lose. And we see this so much in business. Good morning, Allie. Especially, when I used to run a mortgage brokerage, we would see that so often. People competing, withholding ideas. I traveled the country speaking at a variety of different conferences, and I would always share my best practices while I was still practicing, while I was still in the business. And I would often get people that would come up to me afterwards and say, you know, Mike, how is it that you can share all of the best of what you do with the world? Like, don't you worry that the people are going to take your ideas, your thoughts, your intellectual property and going to use it to compete with you? And, you know, again, it's just such a narrow way of thinking, such a myopic way of thinking. And the reality is, and especially for that industry where the mortgage brokerage industry, you know, at times had less than 30% market share. Hey, good morning, Stacy. How are you? When the industry as a whole had less than a 30% market share, why would I want to withhold best practices from those around me in my industry? We have a whole lot of opportunity to take a bigger chunk of the pie. I don't need to worry about limiting your slice of that pie. It's that rising tide raises all ships. When we know better, we can do better. When collectively we can come up with better ways of doing things, we can all do a better job. Good morning, Garth. Just talking about that scarcity mindset in men and how we tend to default to this competitive nature. You know, Garth is in a competitive space to me. He works with men. Garth and I share best practices all the time. If I was living in that scarcity mindset, I would hoard my ideas. I would hoard my practices, as would Garth. And as a result, men would suffer because they wouldn't get the best of my being and thinking. They wouldn't get the best of Garth's being and thinking. But when we come together collectively, we raise the energy, we raise the vibe. Good morning, Mitch. Mitch is in the same position. Mitch is a helper. Mitch and Garth, we absolutely collaborate. We work together. We've got that mindset. Good morning, Garth. Garth, lots of them are over on the website. I don't know if you care. Anne says, do you mean to tell me if one man sells 10 homes and the other sells 9 homes, the first reaction isn't, wow, 19 homes, guys, way to go. This is a true story. We tend to compare ourselves. I see this in business in a very, very big way. And it's so limiting. It's so damaging. And I see this in the philanthropic space when we're talking about nonprofits, some of the work I do around gender equity. It becomes this fight for who's got the best thing, who's doing the best job. This ego thing comes into play, and it boggles my mind because I see this from nonprofits. Nonprofits. The intent of the organization is not to make money. The intent of the organization is to make an impact in the world. So when I see nonprofits, two nonprofits in the same space, in the same realm, actively competing against each other, when they really all have the same mission, vision, milestones that they want to hit along the way, yet we hoard ideas. We fall into this scarcity mindset, and it's so damaging. It's so damaging. It is so, so damaging. Sorry, I had a buzz. I wasn't sure if one of you was letting me know something was going wrong with the feed. So how do we break out of that scarcity mindset? And as guys, it's really challenging because we've been conditioned that way, that we need to dominate. We need to win at all costs. Now, let me backpedal, because I'm not talking about everybody gets a fucking participation ribbon. That's not what I'm talking about. And that's what the critics tend to hear. They think that, you know, I'm talking about this sort of socialist environment where everybody achieves the same. That's not at all what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting to that space of collaboration and dropping the fucking ego and learning, looking at really what it is that you actually want to accomplish, and dropping that ego and coming at it from that place of abundance rather than scarcity. Again, I work a lot in the men's mental health arena, and I see this from time to time. You've got men that have created programs that want to hoard their programs, that want to hold on to them, that don't want to share best practices because it's their thing. Well, isn't our thing collectively elevating men's mental health? Isn't that the thing? But we get so closed-minded. We get this tunnel vision about but I want it to be my idea. I want it to be my solution that revolutionizes the world. And this is one I have to be very cautious with. This is one I have to pay attention to, because I want my idea to revolutionize the world. But when we can step back, and really look at what is the objective, what is the overall goal, and how do we best get there? Anne says, I get the win at all costs. If using a sports metaphor, we all play for the same team. And one guy hits a home run, we win, don't we? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But even bigger than that, like even in the context of competing, we can still compete. We can still push each other. And that's the beautiful thing. So I don't have a problem with competition. I don't have a problem with trying to outdo one another. Because again, I think that breeds innovation. And I think it creates more opportunities. But let's come at it from a place of abundance. Knowing that today, I want to outdrive, I want to outcompete. Karina, good morning. How are you? Happy to see you here, my friend. Again, if you're watching over on LinkedIn, I'm not monitoring the comments on LinkedIn. You can hop over to mikecameron.ca/live, where I'm broadcasting live and we're having a little conversation, a chat there. Facebook, I am able to monitor the conversation a little bit. So I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments, your feedback. Again, it's not about not competing. It's not about not wanting to excel. It's not about not wanting to push the envelope to raise the bar. It's about coming at it with this abundance mindset so that we know there is enough. There is enough for all of us. I'm going to make what I can happen, and I'm going to empower you to make what you can happen. And at the end of the day, if you do better than me, good on you. But that doesn't take away from what I can do. Garth, if we struggle to ask for help from each other, how can we expect the men we work with to ask for help? It's never about us. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is the thing, especially in the mental health space, and especially in the men's mental health arena. We need to work as a collective. Sure, there's times where we're going to be competing for resources. You know, that's the challenge in the nonprofit space. We're all competing for resources, for funding, for dollars. I get it. So just do what you do as best as you can. Stop focusing on what everybody else is doing, unless it's to see where you can learn, to see where you can support. But that comparison game can be deadly. I made a couple of notes here. You are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So look at the people that are around you. What kind of mindset do they come at it with? creating win-win situations. Again, gratitude, another piece. Start looking for collective opportunities. Where can we actually grow as a collective if we collaborate rather than compete? Again, especially in this nonprofit world, especially in that philanthropic space where we're trying to make an impact. Our currency is impact, not dollars. So why would we compete? Why would we withhold information? It's about creating a culture of collaboration. And we all win. Stacy, yes. The average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So have a real close look at your circle. Have a real close look at who you surround yourself with. Because it is meaningful, it is impactful. So my challenge for you today, my question for you today, is where can you find a way today, anywhere, to elevate collaboration over competition? Where can you open your mind to that abundance piece? Where can you offer up some of what you've got without worrying about what's coming in return? And just trust the process and know that the more we give, the more we get. I love it. It was Zig Ziglar who talked about, if you want anything in life, just help as many people as you possibly can get what they want. So many of these motivational gurus, these self-help gurus, back hundreds of years even, talking about this stuff. These concepts aren't new. But we as a species seem to have a hard time figuring it out. So I'm just here to remind you. And in fact, I'm mostly here to remind myself. So those gurus that tell you they got all the answers, bullshit. And said, finally, a topic that doesn't apply to me. If we work together, no matter what the job, a win for you is a win for me, and hopefully a learning experience. Yes, absolutely. Stacy says, true humility has nothing to do with competition, rather that of personal growth and reflection. Garth says, the biggest difference we might make in life is being able to support somebody else's dream of making a change in this world. Yes, 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 Garth, absolutely. Again, I talk about this often. Derek Sivers, How to Create a Movement in 3 Minutes. He talks about the importance of that first follower. Have the courage to be that first follower. Support that person that's driving in the direction that you want to go. Because it's often that first follower that transforms that lone nut into a leader. Brian, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go farther, go together. Lovely, lovely. Great quote, Brian. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go farther, get together. Yeah, that's so, so true. Again, as men, we see this. We see this a lot. This push to go fast. This push to go fast and hard and alone. And then we burn out. Or we go into a tailspin. One of the online men's groups I'm a part of, and I didn't know this man at all. I had zero interaction with him, and the group's 5,000 strong or more. But one of the men took his life, and his wife came on the forum just to remind everybody how tenuous life is, and how important it is to reach out for help and make that connection. And it's a shame because this guy had become part of this group and shared one post of his struggles, but that's as far as he got, and he made the decision to take his own life. So yeah, we can go fast and alone, but chances are we're going to hit a brick wall. If you want to go farther, go together. And it says, therein lies the difference. Women have no problem working on a problem together, as egos generally aren't involved. No offense to anyone. Good morning, Melissa. How are you, my friend? Good morning, Travis. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Melissa, I have not seen you in a while. I don't know, Facebook's algorithm, it's deciding what we get to see and what we don't. I'll have to go snoop your stuff again, Melissa. I've always enjoyed your work. Travis, you too, man. Travis is another guy working in that men's space. Creating that culture of collaboration, not competition. Ditching that scarcity mindset. Where can we come at it from this place of abundance? How can we shift that? And I know for those in business, it's challenging because we feel like we have to focus and compete and challenge. Melissa, I sent you a book years ago. Yeah, what was the book? I don't even remember now. See, this is the power of connection. You know what? I'm going to have a conversation on this as well. These are the things I do. I send random strangers books because I liked her ethos. And here we are some years later, still connected, sharing space, hopefully creating a better world together, or at least doing our best. NFPs is all about impact and their goals. Not-for-profits is all about the impact, and their goal should be to go out of business as they have met the mission and vision. Exactly. Exactly, Brian. This is what I always say. I serve on the board of a couple of nonprofits. One is the Strathcona Shelter Society. And I said, yeah, my job here is to make us go out of business. And not from financial mismanagement. I want to eradicate the problem so that the nonprofit doesn't need to exist anymore. Anyways, my friends, I could sit here and chat with you all day, but I hope I've given you some food for thought. I know largely I'm preaching to the choir, but hopefully we can just give you a little bit of a different way of thinking about things, and we can collaborate together to collectively shift that mindset in the world. We can put out this collective energy of collaboration. Does a lot of good. Does a lot of good. All right, my friend. Have a phenomenal fucking week. Let's go crush it. Let's work together. And if there's anything that I can do for you from a collaboration standpoint, let me know. Let me know. Together we can raise the energy. We can raise the vibration in this world. We can make an impact. We can make a change. What you do matters. What I do matters. Individually and collectively, what we do matters. Don't forget that. All right, my friend. Let's see if we can do this fade out, sign off, all that kind of wonderful stuff. Here we go. A little music. A little fade to black.